हाय एंड वेलकम टू द स्पेसिफिक आस्क। आज मेरे साथ मिस कंचन रलन हैं जो एक करियर काउंसलर हैं और 40,000 बच्चों की मम्मी हैं। कंचन मैम, good to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rishabh. Such a pleasure.
You don't know that for the last few months that I've known you, kind of a big fan here क्योंकि मुझे ये पता है कि you change lives actually in a way that you give directions to kids, right? हमें अपने टाइम पर होता था, I remember this completely and very vividly, जब मेरा टाइम था करियर चूज करने का, I took up science because I wanted to become a pilot.
Wow.
अब पायलट बनना था, कमर्शियल पायलट बनना था. It was clear in my head, which is why I took up physics and mathematics. I did my own research. Met a Brigadier Bansal who was one of the head of DGCA के अंदर थे. Met him, discussed everything with him. My path was clear. My father was on board, more or less. And then he met an astrologer, जिन्होंने बोला ये पायलट नहीं बन सकता, बन जाएगा सक्सेसफुल. तो मुझे पता है कि उसके बाद का जो मेरा स्ट्रगल था साइंस में, जहाँ साइंस मेरे लिए सिर्फ फिजिक्स और मैथ्स थी, मैंने अपने फादर को बोला ठीक है अभी क्या करना है, और उन्होंने बोला कि इंजीनियरिंग की तैयारी करो. आई वेस्टेड अ ईयर ऑफ माई लाइफ एंड देन इंजीनियरिंग की तैयारी करी, लेकिन मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि इंजीनियरिंग में होता क्या है. आई वॉज कम्प्लीटली ड्रिफ्टिंग इन टाइम. तो आपका हम लोगों की ज़िंदगी में उस टाइम अगर आप होते मेरी लाइफ में, तो शायद पता नहीं कुछ और मेरे लिए लाइफ क्लियर होती और शायद कुछ एक बेटर लाइफ होती मेरी. मैम, सीधा जंप इन करते हैं हमारी डिस्कशन में. बिल्कुल पर्टेनिंग सवाल है ये कि व्हेन डू यू थिंक अ स्टूडेंट शुड एक्चुअली स्टार्ट प्लानिंग देयर करियर?
Very, very interesting. I think the first question when people come for counseling mostly ask this. अब आप मुझे एक बड़ी सिंपल और सीधी चीज़ बताओ, जब अभी भी इंडियन करिकुलम और स्टैंडर्ड्स और एजुकेशन के तरीके से या हिसाब से 11th और 12th में ये दे आर ऑलरेडी चूजिंग योर सब्जेक्ट. Maximum you can do, probably leave a subject or twist it to another one, but you can't change the stream.
Yeah.
So let's go back to grade 9 and 10, where you have been given a wide range of humanities, economics, mathematics, sciences, and of course the languages. I think that is when the maturity should start happening. कि अगर मुझे साइंस जाना है और आगे का अपना करियर ग्राफ वहीं पर बनाना है, am I ready for that? Do I have the aptitude for it?
Okay.
So something in grade 9 and 10, I think, is the absolute right time before you plunge in to choose your stream. Understand, commerce without math नहीं लेता और फिर भी commerce करता हूँ. Where do I land? What do I do? Humanities, really? क्या मैं बेवकूफ़ हूँ इसलिए humanities ले रहा हूँ, या I can churn out something out of humanities? क्या मैं intelligent नहीं हूँ? Today even humanities has 98-99% achievers. If they have
this
brains.
begs the next question actually.
Really? So if they have the brains, then why aren't they doing sciences only?
साइंस मिलेगी तो इज्जत मिलेगी और ह्यूमैनिटीज लेंगे तो इज्जत खराब हो जाएगी.
किस चीज़ की इज्जत? आज अगर हम देखें इवेंट मैनेजर्स, फोटोग्राफर्स, I very recently went to a wedding and I banged into the photographer who was taking. I said, sir, I'm looking forward to one of my cousins getting married. So what's your 2-day package? He said, ma'am, 24 lakh rupees. I said, no, sir, I'm talking about not a year's package. I'm talking just 2 days. The mehndi and the barat and the sagan and the 2 days. He said, ma'am, you heard it right. I know a lot of people want me to repeat, but this is the package. I said, you're not kidding. He says, no.
They're doing well.
We are those people who are going to make you relive the memories. And we're creating stories for your wedding. So this is what our charges are. And I said, somebody who's an engineer who is getting married is on a package of 36 lakh rupees for the whole year with 9 to 5 job or 9 to 9 job and the expectations.
But साइंस लोग शायद इसलिए नहीं लेते कि अगर साइंस लेंगे तो किसी भी कॉलेज या यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन मिल जाएगा.
आप मुझे बताइए, अगर आपकी फाउंडेशन साइंस, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथमेटिक्स से है और आपको लॉयर बनना है, तो आप किस तरह से वो लॉयर या किस तरह से डिज़ाइन या किस तरह से फाइनेंस कर पाएंगे इफ़ यू आर ओनली डूइंग अ फाउंडेशन ऑफ फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री? आप अगर केक बना रहे हो और उसके अंदर आप नमक और मिर्च और हल्दी भी डाल दोगे और राइट इंग्रेडिएंट्स नहीं डालोगे तो केक बनेगा कैसे? सो इट इज़ एक्चुअली अ बिग मिथ कि साइंस ले लिया देन आई कैन डू एवरीथिंग. अगर विद दोज 2 years वेयर यू आर बीइंग ब्रांच्ड आउट इन ग्रेड 11 and 12, और अगर आप अपना फाउंडेशन साइंस के साथ रखेंगे, बट योर पैशन और योर इंटरेस्ट इज टू गेट इनटू maybe design or gaming or maybe into finance side of investment or risk management or actuarial sciences or maybe into photography, what will that science learning do to you? Probably give you more confusion.
Okay.
So very, very important to first analyze yourself. Ask, do so much of research, brain drain yourself, look into different things, maybe TED Talks, read things, experience different things.
Yeah.
I always tell, parents, when you go to a parlor and you ask your kid, बेटा कौन सी आइसक्रीम लोगे आप? अगर आपको पता है कि मेरे को कौन सी लेनी है, you're fixed about that, that's super. But if definitely mom and dad would say, बेटा नया फ्लेवर है, try क्यों नहीं करते? Don't you want to try that? So why not try those flavors of, the flavor of the day? There is chewing gum and candy flavor now.
Now, yeah.
There is, Gyani has the favorite Gyani special. Why not try those flavors and then come to a decision?
Yeah. There's something called kuch nahi also.
Kuch nahi.
Right?
Which every Punjabi would say, kuch khana nahi ji, kuch nahi sano, kuch nahi chahiye.
Right.
So I think very, very important to taste everything. Understand. Just take a dip. Understand, are you connecting to that? Is that, I'm not saying the word passion here, but something that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing, you will love doing it and coming to it back again and again. If you're forced to it because of your peer pressure, I wouldn't even say parents. Parents are getting changed. Their thought process is getting changed. They're open to taking up things. But if you feel yourself कि बुरा लगेगा मैं साइंस में नहीं बैठा मेरा फ्रेंड मजाक उड़ाएगा, then you are being untrue to yourself. You're just trying to bring out a different face of yourself, which is probably donned with a lot of makeup or artificialness. But what you really want to do, you realize that you wasted few years in drifting and then taking a U-turn to come to what you really like doing.
क्या मैं कंप्यूटर साइंस ले सकता हूँ अगर मैंने 11th या 12th में कंप्यूटर साइंस नहीं पढ़ी है तो?
अगर साइंस है, something like 2 science subjects or physics and chemistry or physics and bio with mathematics, you definitely can do computer science.
Okay.
Most universities in India and global, they do not want you to come with the basic interest or basic learning of computers. If you have done 2 sciences with the mathematics, you are eligible to get into computer science.
Ma'am, you were talking about tasting different things, right, when it comes to your career choices or when it comes to study choices.
Yeah.
Do you think exposure to different professions can help early on?
100%.
हर किसी की फैमिली में कोई ना कोई डॉक्टर होगा, हो सकता है कोई सिविल सर्विसेज में हो सकता है IPS में कोई हो, या फ्रेंड्स या फैमिली एक्सटेंडेड फ्रेंड्स में हो. Should we take our kids to meet them on a Sunday and say, ask what you want to ask, understand what they do, maybe even visit their office if time allows?
Why not? And there's so much even around us. If they sit with a shopkeeper even next to you where you go to a wholesaler to buy your groceries for the house, maybe when they spend a few hours there, they would see how much input it is getting in when he's looking at those small little things of namak ki theli kitne ki hai, what is the profit margin, if he's really into finance. Somebody who's into video making or even gaming, the kind of work that is behind to produce a single game. Somebody's into esports. So let them listen to these TED Talks. If you don't have people to go to, let them explore when they move around into different organizations. There's so many activities in summer schools. There are so many internships which are happening, and they all start with grade 9 and 10. So much to learn, so much which was not there initially. Probably if I go back 7-8 years, it wasn't that popular now the way it is. They make you actually get into farming, get into procuring how temperature is affecting whatever even you're growing to smaller pots in your house.
Yeah.
And this is something which is going up, something like insurance. When you hear about something which is showing on a TV, on an ad, there is max insurance, there is life insurance, let them learn what insurance is. Let them know why are people involved and why are they advertising and plugging in so much of money or probably even burning money every time, even when you're seeing a player in your IPL with some tag of life insurance or as a sponsor on their tees. Try to get more deeper into it. Why are they sponsoring?
Yeah.
What is the reason behind this organization?
Yeah.
Meet those people. I'm very sure every family has somebody who's into insurance, somebody who have, bought a vehicle.
Yeah.
What are the showrooms like? How do they purchase and sell bigger cars? Where they keep those many bigger cars to keep them on the stores. People who are buying bulk, if not that, people into fashion. You go to weddings, the way the girl is looking so pretty on her wedding day.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a whole
I
team
came,
of people, yeah.
whole team of people, from the hairdresser to your makeup artist to somebody who's really looking at the way you'd be walking your
Whole
aisles.
bunch of professions there.
Bunch of professional, and they're all earning well.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting. To one of the sessions that I was giving to in I wouldn't take the name of the school, but this is somewhere in Sonipat. And I asked, how many of you want to really go abroad and study? So 80% of them picked up their hands. I said, okay, and what do you want to study? They said, ma'am, जो भी आप दिला दोगे. तो I said, पढ़ना है क्यों? कहते मैम छल्ले वाली गड्डी मिलेगी. तो 2 महीने तो लग गए सोचने में छल्ले वाली गड्डी है कौन सी. So एक perception वो भी है where people want to go abroad and want to get above that local stigma of, you know, getting ki this is what I am, I have the spending power. The other lot of people who would really want to experiment, understand. So many people I come across, you know, we are listening to these motivational speakers, mentors, coaches. 5 साल पहले शायद ही हमने किसी ने सोचा होगा कि कोई बिजनेस कोच है, कोई पर्सनल कोच है, कोई मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर है.
वो बहुत लिमिटेड एक्सेस थे.
एक्सेस है, कोई गोस्ट राइटर है.
राइट.
Imagine if I go and run down the storyline about the biography of our cricket god Tendulkar.
Yeah.
He just barely passed his grade 12.
Yeah.
And today he's going to write and publish a book. How would he do it?
Yeah.
Definitely there's assistance of people who are ghostwriting it for him or giving him assistance in penning down his ideas, his journey,
right.
What his thought about life is.
When you mentioned the students you spoke to in the school, right? This would pretty much sum it up कि बाहर तो जाना है पढ़ना क्या है नहीं पता है.
पढ़ना क्या है नहीं.
So what is your advice to students who have no clue what they want to do in their life?
So a lot of tools actually which are now there where we can identify the real spike in you. You know, everybody can't be an engineer. Everybody can't be a coder. Everybody can't get into health sciences.
Yeah.
Everybody probably wouldn't just love playing with kids, just love watching sports on TV. There is a work even for them. People love to scroll and see which are beautiful areas. I want to explore and, you know, just want to go for vacations, smaller vacations, very different places. Make that your passion.
Yeah.
Make that as a career. Get inside. Explore new areas, new places, new, destinations, vacations, stay vacations, so much in demand. There are cruise, I have very recently found few resorts which have a booking line of more than 8 months. And there are people like Obama who after his 2 debuts of tenure went there to relax for 3 days. Not exposed, and per night was 250,000 per night he spent, which is out of the whole stream of rush push. Very different and concrete place where it was nothing called the concrete jungle. Everything was natural and more about, your meditation. So much to explore. Who says academics is the only way you can earn or be successful or have a career?
No.
Like traveling, explore that side of it. You like to go out on cruise. There is so much work there. You like to, get somebody. I banged into a lady and I said, you really tie your sari well. She said, yeah, I'm a professional tying up saris. I said, really? And
that's a profession?
That's a profession. I said, okay, there are about, maybe 33 friends of my son who are coming over for a wedding. What if I engage you for that? I said, can you just send me the commercial? She said, very straightforward. It is about 36 lakh rupees. I said, no, ma'am, it's not for a year. I'm just talking about for them to be tying the sari.
And we're not buying the saris.
We are not buying saris. She said, yeah, you heard me right. I charge 1,10,000 to tie a sari. I said, that's 10 minutes. How do I break your time? She said, but this is what it is. I'm a professional and I can tie saris in maybe 110 ways.
Wow.
But this is what my charge is.
As ridiculous as that sounds, this is amazing.
I don't know, but she's what made this as a profession. And she says, you please go onto my page and then figure out how much busy I am and how much in demand.
लक्ष्य मूवी का सीन याद आ रहा है मुझे कि चाय वाला बनो लेकिन नंबर 1 चाय वाला बनो तो
नहीं नंबर 1 ना भी बनो पर इतना बना लो कि लोग आपके पास चल के आए.
Wow. Amazing. Ma'am, we were talking about parenting the other day.
Right.
आपने मुझे बोला कि यार मैं पेरेंट्स की पेरेंटिंग करती हूँ, कैन यू प्लीज?
Very interesting, controversial also, but at the same time जब पेरेंट्स आते हैं ना, सबसे पहला सवाल होता है मैम हमने तो छोड़ दिया, करने दो ना इसको अपना पैशन, जो इसको करना है वो करे। कहीं ना कहीं जब मैं कहती हूँ मैम उसको फोटोग्राफी कराएंगे, ही इज रियली गुड एंड ही पिक्स अप दोस थिंग्स व्हिच इवन यू एंड आई कांट सी विद आवर नेकेड आई। मैम प्रोफेशन की बात करो ना, कैसी बात कर रहे हो आप, फोटोग्राफी देके थोड़ी कुछ कमा लेगा।
डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स।
तो आई शुड नॉट बी सेइंग इट, बट यस, नहीं मैम कभी बोलते ही नहीं पढ़ने को। मैम टॉन्ट देते हो कि आपका कजन या दूसरी आपकी सिस्टर का बेटा आपसे अच्छा कर, मैम वो तो
करते हैं।
बता रहे हैं बच्चे को, कंपेयर थोड़ी कर रहे हैं। मैम आपको पता है कि आज जो कंटेंट राइटर या डिजिटल मार्केटिंग वाला कितना कमा रहा है? मैम क्या कहेंगे उसको, डिजिटल करता रहता है, साथ दिन कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के ये
क्या
सब
बताएंगे
देखता
मेरा
रहता
बेटा
है
क्या
कि
करता है?
मेरा बेटा डिजिटल कर रहा है, मैम
Yeah.
12,000 रुपये कमाएगा। मैम सो दिस इज व्हाट पेरेंटिंग। और मैम आप इसको पढ़ने में नहीं अच्छा, पर आप इसको कंप्यूटर दे दो, अब इसको फ़ोन दे दो मैम, अभी इसे फ़ोन के अंदर आपको अभी बता देगा कि आपका पासवर्ड क्या है, आप ना बताओ उसे बता देगा। बट व्हाट इज इट रियली गोइंग टू लीड टू? लेट हिम देन गो इनटू हैकिंग,
Yeah.
लेट हिम एक्सप्लोर दैट
Why
साइड।
not? Yes.
आर यू रेडी फॉर दैट? मैम कंप्यूटर्स करा दो ना। सो यू आर नॉट pushing him directly, but indirectly you have ways to push
Ma'am,
it.
do you think this has to do with the changing time? Not. I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here. क्योंकि मैं एक मिनट, I'm a parent. मुझे ये पता है कि जब तक my kids will be looking at their college or their school time, where they're going to decide कि career क्या लेना है, उस time तक का जो level of jobs या जो actual career paths हैं या careers हैं, like you said, नए careers आ रहे हैं, right?
100%.
It's gonna change. And मेरे टाइम पर जो था ना, वो रोटी कपड़ा मकान was the basic thing.
वो obsolete हो गया है,
वो obsolete हो
वो
चुका है, right?
obsolete हो गया है।
So कहीं ना कहीं, do you think the parents are actually the only fault that they've done or mistake that they've made is शायद उन्होंने अपने आप को they have not kept themselves with the times, अपने आप को update नहीं किया शायद parents ने।
नहीं, अब अप्रेस नहीं किया अपने आप को टू द चेंजिंग टाइम, प्लस अडेप्ट भी नहीं किया that there is a career beyond this, there is a career.
So there's no open thinking towards
They
it.
don't want to accept that,
Yeah.
and which is so important. By the time they really accept, तब तक कहते हैं मैम BBA तो करा ली, बट उसने कुछ नहीं किया, अब MBA करा लें क्या, शायद जॉब मिल जाए। पर आप अभी भी फिलमेंट कहाँ दे रहे हो जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी इतना है, देयर इज सैचुरेशन एंड देयर इज नो जॉब। आपने सोचा कि उसको मैं इंस्टेड ऑफ टिकटिंग करा लूँ या IPL का उसको प्रमोटर बना दूँ, या मैं फैशन के अंदर उसको एक शू डिजाइनिंग की काम सिखा दूँ, या मैं स्पेक्स डिजाइनिंग।
Have you heard of a website called StubHub?
I think I did.
You know
I
what
went
it
through.
is? It's ticketing.
Just ticketing.
Just ticketing and global ticketing. वर्ल्ड कप फुटबॉल की टिकट्स कहीं नहीं मिली,
पर उस पे
स्टब हब पे मिली, महंगी मिली बट
पर
मिली।
मिली।
इंडिया बैठे रशिया वर्ल्ड कप 2018 की टिकट्स कराई थी हमने, एंड वी बॉट एवरीथिंग देयर। वो अलग बात है व्हेन वी रियलाइज देयर वहाँ ब्लैक हो रही थी स्टेडियम के बाहर, बट पॉइंट इज कि देयर आर व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ बिजनेस इज अवेलेबल। बुक माय शो, व्हाट इज इट?
Nothing.
किसी ने सोचा नहीं था कि ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है। वी कैन ऑलवेज कम अप विद न्यू थिंग्स। मैम, एडवेंट ऑफ AI, it is said that it is at the very beginning, nascent stages.
Right.
I don't agree with it. I think it's there and it's going to come very quickly. And it's
Actually.
going to become a big thing very, very soon. पहला सवाल स्कूलिंग से लेके, I think everybody is talking about it without any knowledge. How are schools relevant now? Is education relevant now? Do we even need schooling? जहाँ हमें हर सवाल का जवाब एक वेबसाइट पर या एक ऐप पर या एक ऑडियो डिवाइस से मिल रहा है with AI there. Do we need to learn that tricky trigonometry or something if that is not going to be my career path later?
But I always feel an introduction to these kind of, maybe not at very diverse levels or maybe too much into it, but a little touch and go into how will you realize otherwise that what is your niche, what is your spike, what is your interest, what is your passion, what do you love doing. If you're not touch based with these, you will never be able to figure out.
I'm A plus B whole square कहाँ काम आ रहा है अब?
काम नहीं आ रहा, पर कुछ ना कुछ आपको टेक्निकली समझ आ रहा है, आपका माइंड उस तरह से डेवलप हो रहा है। हो सकता है उसको बहुत डीप जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, इफ दैट इज नॉट योर लाइन, बट डेफिनेटली अ टच एंड गो आई थिंक शुड बी इंट्रोड्यूस टू द किड who is there to explore, who's open. He's more like a mold, a soft clay mold.
Yeah.
उस मोल्ड के अंदर अगर हम उसको डायरेक्शन या शेप नहीं देंगे, कुछ भी शेप, वो अपने आप को उसके अंदर ज़्यादा प्रोग्राम नहीं कर पाएगा.
So you still believe that
A little bit of introduction to each of these different areas is mandatory.
more or less that is what we're doing at school levels in any
Absolutely.
case. What do the jobs, we
The
were
new
talking about,
upcoming landscape of jobs.
yeah, so what does it look like?
Very different. आज मुझे बताइए before COVID कितने घरों में मास्क था?
नहीं था.
आज हर घर के अंदर कम से कम अगर मैं कलेक्ट करूं 50 से 100 मास्क निकल आएंगे.
Correct.
उसकी प्रिंटिंग, उसकी पैकिंग, उसकी डिलीवरी, उसकी ऊपर की एडवर्टाइजिंग, उसका मटेरियल यूज, उसका डिस्पोजिंग. So today there is a huge market which is trying to dispose of
Yeah.
the masks which has to be put across. Imagine a new line has come out. Today people were not, before COVID, not even bothered कि हम अपना test कराएं. How many jabs people have gotten?
Yeah.
Billions. How many people have procured cylinders and these masks at home for oxygen?
Yeah.
So things will change. आज अगर मैं कहूँ कि मैं एक वीडियो कैसेट रिकॉर्डर खरीद लूँ और मैं उसका एक पार्लर खोल लूँ, will it work? So unless and until we change from there. आज हम कितनी बार बैंक जाके लाइन में खड़े होके टोकन लेते टू विड्रॉ मनी और टू डिपॉजिट कैश. मेरे ख्याल पिछले 2 साल में शायद ही कोई जाता होगा.
Hardly.
It is everything on a desktop or through your phone. So if you don't change it, you still want to get into and become a bank teller of collecting or giving money.
पासबुक कब अपडेट की थी लास्ट किसने?
मैं वही कहती हूँ. और जरूरत क्या है? एफडी आपकी अपने दो सिर्फ स्ट्राइक से एफडी हो जाती है, IMPS हो जाती है. सो इफ यू डोंट अडेप्ट टू दीज चेंजेस, there will be better and newer careers. You just have to now twist and tweak yourself to
Okay.
the changing world.
Okay.
Today there is traveling, there is esports, there is fashion, there is communication, digital marketing, there is media. People have stopped going to cinema halls. There's Netflix. Just at your fingertips, whichever you want to go, whatever you want to see.
And pause
And
it
with no
and
cost.
watch it later.
Watch it later.
Yeah.
Without ads.
Download
without,
it, watch it on a flight.
and not even burn your $300 on a popcorn
Right,
jam.
absolutely.
So, and people prefer this. And so is a decrease in even the demand of top-rated actors. Because Netflix have people which are non-recognized faces, newer directors to get themselves
talent.
into this.
Absolutely.
So see the change. Today they will fall down. I mean, there was a very small interview by Akshay Khanna, yeah. He said, ki, I don't know, next 10 years down the line, will there be work for me or not? Nobody knew before IPL was born. सिर्फ cricket match, 5 days cricket match, अब वो नहीं करते. 2020, which is a new thing. Shorter, different, and people are hooked to it.
Yeah.
Who would say आज 10-10 करोड़ का एक छोटे से एरिया से एक बच्चा वहाँ पे IPL का हो गया and he's auctioned for 10 CR.
Yeah.
Who could think? और वो बच्चे को अगर मैं पीछे देखूं कि उसने अपनी पढ़ाई में क्या हुआ, शायद वो 10th भी पास नहीं होगा. I'm sorry to say.
Podcasts. We are doing one. सब चीज नया होता जा रहा है. Which jobs do you think will disappear?
I think more related, a lot of people into military, like pilots, people into the lower side of getting into filing their own returns, accountants, jewelry. So jewelers are also getting down in demand. People don't want to really stuff themselves with huge jewelry pieces.
Maybe it will change face.
It's changing into costume jewelry. It's changing into artificial, into smaller things, banking. A lot of banks are on a sale now.
Now.
So the newer ones probably has a face of, I also give this example. People only knew what chips or Haldiram chips or Lay's was.
Yeah.
Kurkure came when people from their house understood what Tede Mede is or Kurkure is through these celebrities promoting it. So unless and until the sales and promotion and network and marketing will not go, which is a huge, huge thing coming in, whatever the manufacturers are going to die out.
Oh, yeah. अब तो बैंक की आपने बात की तो I went to a bank. 2 बंदे बैठे थे. They were running the entire branch. And I thought it's a small branch. They do a lot of business. And 2 people managing it.
Right.
That's it. There's nobody else.
That's what I'm saying. So all these jobs is really going to die out.
कोई कैश जमा कराने गया सर वो मशीन लगी है उसमें डाल दो.
अब आप ही के यहाँ पे pre-drafted buildings or flats
Yeah,
बन के आ रहे हैं.
absolutely, yes.
So how many of them will really need? There is 3D printers. There are 4Ds now coming in. Who will really need those kind of workers or laborers to really build it up? Now everything, even these fighter planes are all automated. We don't need fighter pilots. So a lot of things are changing.
Now, because there's
There
a
will
risk
be-
to life, and when you can do it with a drone, why would you
Why
send
would you
out a
do it?
person to do the
People are
job?
not now looking at these booking people. There are apps like Book My Show, Book My
Platforms are
Cheap.
doing it.
Yeah, the platforms are doing it.
मैम जिनके रिजॉर्ट्स हैं, अपने खुद के रिजॉर्ट्स हैं या रेंट आउट किए हुए हैं, जिनका बिजनेस है ये, उन्होंने अपनी वेबसाइट पर बुकिंग डाल दिया. They don't pick up anybody's call. They don't have anybody to call to. You can't call somebody and make a booking. Just go to the website and do it.
Even for a lot of cruise and all, there are cruises which are being handled by robots.
Yeah.
There is no human interface in that.
चाइना में तो हो रहा है.
मैं वही कह रही हूँ. So things are changing.
Yeah. Which jobs do you think will be in demand?
Not related to health science, into satellite, into travel, esports, gaming. The biggest industry today in the world is gaming, because people post-COVID, and especially when a lot of companies are laying off and also making their work from home, they need to relax. And they don't go out, I don't know for what fear, but they don't even send their kids out to play, but they are more hooked towards gaming. That's another way of relaxation. So this is one of the industries you're really coming up with.
Okay. हमने बात की थी जब स्टूडेंट्स के बारे में, जब वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इट, यू सेड ऋषभ 4 तरीके के स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं. कैन यू प्लीज?
So I have, over my experience, actually have realized कि उनको ना categorize broadly कर सकते हैं. A very brilliant student, really meticulous, extracurriculars, competitions, Olympiads, science Olympiads. Go-getters, debate में भी आगे होंगे. They are the ones who are the favorites of teachers, recommendations भी, extra भी करेंगे, extra पढ़ के और books भी पढ़ लेंगे. Real smart kids who have the brain, and some of them definitely are God-gifted also, I wouldn't deny. They have a photogenic memory. They just read it, लोग 3 दिन के अंदर वो learn करेंगे, उन्होंने एक बार पढ़ लिया and that is there with it. Those kinds, and plus they have the resource and the money. So definitely the top Ivy Leagues, because they are expensive universities, the top ones all around the globe or even in India, they're the ones who should and definitely go to these top universities.
That should be their aim.
And that is their aim. That they want to go there, they want to do something, bring out, become a new startup, add on to the research, have newer ideas into it, because they have the capacity and they can even put in more of their resilience if things are not their way. But apart from that, they are very, very committed.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who can really make things turn.
Like
and
बच्चा
bring out
brilliant है, plus the family has
resource है,
resources.
and they have the support.
The sky's
They
the
can
limit.
really, absolutely. Yeah. The other side, I would say, are the ones who are really very brilliant. Again, the same kind. God has been kind to everybody, but somehow the resources are not there. They don't get the right finance to send them to the top institutes. They don't have that money or that resource to back it up, maybe via tutor or giving them other things.
Absolutely, yes.
Always a lesser percentage who still make it, but how many can? So there are a lot of universities in India and globally where they give lot of scholarships, total scholarships, global scholarships, presidential scholarships, where they really want these students to come and become the flag bearers. They always want to bet on the running horses, because they know these winning horses will bring credibility to their university, because again,
They're the
getting
hard
admissions
workers.
and universities is also a business at the end.
Yeah.
Because they want people who would be recognized because of an alum of that university, and they will definitely be outshining and telling them, okay, you talk about anybody, the presidents, Mark Zuckerberg, they were dropouts. But again, they went to Stanford, they went to MIT, they went to Harvard. They could be dropouts from there, but they went to the top universities. The third category, I would say, are the ones who are lazy. If not lazy, they really have to struggle to study, but they are kind of average. अब ज़्यादातर क्या होता है, ये average का average, ये गधा, ये कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. But these are the ones, if given the right direction, and if they have the money, and everybody is not born to study. Please, this is one basic fact everybody should listen and should know. World over, things are changing. Everybody is not born to study. China, Japan, they are excelling because they identify the skill set in a student and their weakness, and they pick up that skill. And from that age, from grade 5 and 6 onwards, they make them excel in the way they should be. That's where they put them into some kind of a sport where they're good at, maybe gymnastics, maybe swimming, maybe badminton, anything. So they actually make them excel in the skill that they have. They identify their skill and they push it in that. Similarly, average student, we identify the skill or we have the money, may not be academically strong, could be great at fashion designing, interior designing, and multimedia, into writing, into blog writers, into influencers.
Yes.
Today, you ask a 8-year-old in US, they would say, "What do you want to become?" Half the population says, "I want to become an influencer. That's where I want to be."
Yeah.
So, and of course, last but not the least, Lord, I think I would say 60% of the population who do not have the resource. They are struggling even to pay the fees. They are average because A, they don't have the right kind of tuitions, the right kind of support, or even their home atmosphere doesn't support them to understand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Again, load of hospitality, culinary skill, wine testing, tea testing, coffee testing, fashion, games, gaming, then events, event management. So there's a culture of having a pre-wedding shoot. There's a culture of having your baby showers. There's a culture of having corporate events,
Absolutely.
unveiling of new cars, new phones, you name it, and there is it. So these are the one who are people's person. A kid who is not good academically wants to open a shack. He goes and opens it up there in Singapore or even in one of the places near a university area. Imagine if he sells $80, one roll of paneer roll or maybe anything, and he sells 100 of them in a day. Imagine what he's going to earn is as good as he's earning to become an engineer.
I saw a Goa kid go up to Portugal, become a chef there, runs a successful restaurant. He was featured on a show called Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix recently. What advice would you give to parents with kids younger than 10 years of age?
I think leave them to be. Let them get into whatever they want to do. Maybe even if it is football, swimming, piano, debates, acting classes, motivational speaking should be introduced to them at a very early age. People who are being successful. Reading is another one very, very big aspect. They should start reading a lot about people who have taken up different offbeat streams. Let them expose them to different, places if you can travel with them. Let them experience sitting maybe in a different profession, just observing things.
Right.
So these are music, dance, acting, documentaries, critiques, backstage people, stage setting. There's so much. There's no end to it.
Parents of preteens and teens?
Preteens, they need to have patience to listen to their kids. Imagine they're also running through a lot in their heads because as adults, it really strikes you. They want to look attractive. They want to have, friends with the opposite sex. They want to catch their attention. They want to talk about their experiences. So instead of not, imposing it कि हमारे टाइम पे ऐसे नहीं यही हुआ था या ये गलत आप कर रहे हो, ये friends गलत हैं, at least listen to them. This is an age where they really need somebody to confide. They will tell you, they will harness by saying, आप नहीं समझोगे, आप छोड़ दो, मुझे आपके साथ नहीं जाना, मुझे आपके साथ नहीं बैठना. Doesn't matter. Still be with them. They need support. They need somebody to know that there is always a support system at my back.
Yeah.
And for that, you need that patience and those years and that time to spend. If you don't want him to be on a social media, you leave social media for yourself and just sit there patiently. Probably just, kickstart a conversation.
Yeah,
about
a different
the
approach
weather.
has to be tried.
Anything. Play with them.
Oh yes, COVID में हमने सबने किया है.
Revive your caroms and your ludos.
We did that in COVID, right? Lockdown में सबने किया है.
If you could do it then, why not? And then just don't pressurize and talk only about academics, only about being successful, only about future plans. No, they don't want to hear it. They already have this in them. They have to prove themselves.
Explore the
have
other side of your kid.
Yes.
What about those with 18 plus years of age?
They are those young, mature individuals. Leave them. Let them taste failure. Please, it is super important. Let them be them. Don't tell them doesn't matter. It does matter. If they failed, let them taste that failure. Let them know they've done a mistake, because that is the best learning they will
But ma'am,
ever
how
have.
do you see your child fail and then they're shattered and then you're looking at them?
Give
What do you
them
do
the
then?
support. Doesn't matter, that was a learning experience. Maybe the next time he comes, he knows doesn't need to do those same mistakes. If you keep giving your own advice, he's just going to be another identity of what you are. And you want every kid to surpass yourself, to be better off than you.
Ma'am, abhi 3 din pehle, I don't know if I should say this, but a sister of mine, she opened up to me and we were talking about what she wants to do. And she says, Bhaiya, I feel like a failure, I feel like I've failed my parents. Then I was driving when I was talking to her and I asked her, how old are you? She said, I'm 22. And then I say, are you listening to yourself? A failure at 22? Have you heard of somebody like that in your life ever? You're just 22. Failure is failure and it's temporary.
And then failed in what? Failed in what?
It wasn't clear to her, but she just thought she should have been doing something by the age of 22. And I said, people don't have it figured out even at 40. And that's okay as well.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter कि तुम 22 साल में तुम्हें नहीं पता कि तुम्हें अपनी लाइफ में क्या करना है. Believe me, at 37, I don't know where my life is heading.
And how is it
I'm
going
okay
to
with
turn?
that.
Absolutely. I love when I heard one of these statements which was there in our Shastra. It said that भगवान ने ना अगर पेट लगा के भेजा है, वो भूखा नहीं सुलाएगा. So even people who are not working and carry nothing, even those dogs and the pets on the street eat. So failure in what? What do you really want to prove yourself with? And against, in comparison or in competition to what?
Yeah.
So that is where they feel that the parents are over-expecting and they haven't been able to fulfill
Maybe the
that.
over-expectation is from themselves
Then
as well.
themselves also, yes.
Sometimes you build that
But
up.
fail for what?
Fail for
Academics?
what? That's what I said.
Earning?
Yeah.
Your first job? Your first interview? What? And that could be sorted.
And there's like 5 billionaires under 22 that you can count on your fingers. What about the rest of the billion of population?
Billions and trillions.
Everybody's trying to make something of themselves. तुम अभी से क्यों परेशान हो? और I think mental health is more important than your career.
100%.
बन जाएगा career, but be patient, be in the right zone.
So many sad stories we keep hearing, all of us, कि suicide कर लिया बच्चों ने, or they are depressed, or they're taking external help with psychologists. It's such a pity.
Every year in the newspaper there's something like that.
It's such a, because they do not get that confidence about themselves. That's why I say, when parents need to listen to them, let them fail, let them know failure is also part of growing and grooming yourself.
But कई बार parents भी कुछ नहीं कर सकते. मैंने ये भी देखा है.
पर at least support तो दे ही सकते हैं.
हाँ, of course.
Support दे ही सकते हैं. कि वो भी हर चीज में तो सिर्फ सक्सेस नहीं उन्होंने देखी, उन्होंने भी फेलियर दिया. हम बच्चा साइकिल से चलाते हुए गिरता है, कहते कोई बात नहीं बेटा, वो गंदी होगी, आपकी गलती होगी, आई विल टेक अ सपोर्ट. पर वो साइकिल से भी तो गिरा ही था ना, गिर के तो उसने सीखा सब बैलेंस करना. तो थिंक ऑफ अनदर थिंग, दीज आर टू स्मॉल, लिटिल बिट ऑफ your hand, your compassion, your words is really going to be a life support for them.
That's true. बच्चों से कुछ आप बोलना चाहोगे?
Don't think life is too short and too fast, and don't expect too early. आज भगवान भी पेड़ जब लगाता है उसके पौधे और उसका फ्रूट कुछ सालों बाद दे देता है. इतनी टेक्नोलॉजी हो गई है, we could have kids in just 2 months. Still it takes 9 months to deliver a kid. So go by that timelines, wait, have patience, put in the right component of what you really want to become. Give that grind, give that time, that patience, and then do it.
वैसे भी midlife crisis आएगी, anger, depression सबको आना है. Don't catch it too early. Don't
but
be too serious about things. But
where do you want to reach by moving so fast? Where? What is the end point?
End point actually कभी भी clear नहीं होता.
और वो बढ़ता रहता है.
कभी भी क्लियर नहीं होता. कोई मुझसे बोल दे आज 20 साल की एज में कि मैं 30 साल पे यहाँ होऊंगा और मैं पहुंच के दिखाऊंगा. That is a goal that you set for yourself, but that's not the end game. You don't know कि वो रास्ते में आप कौन सा रास्ता ले लोगे एंड हाउ योर लाइफ इज गोना इवॉल्व अराउंड इट.
नहीं, और 28 के बाद फिर वो आपकी अगर गाड़ी और एक घर है, वो गाड़ी शायद मारुति या सैंट्रो ना होके सडनली BMW हो जाएगी. और जब BMW आपके पास, आप कहोगे मेरे पास फरारी नहीं है और मेरे पास अब बड़ा
Yes.
फार्म हाउस चाहिए और मेरे पास
Absolutely.
एक मेरे पास दुबई में भी घर होना चाहिए. सो देयर इज नो एंड.
Right. Comparison in competition. Do you think we parents need to learn to check what we are saying or feeding to our kids?
Everybody knows that inside. Everybody knows that. पर हम फिर भी बंद नहीं होते हैं वो कंपैरिजन करना. हम बोलते नहीं हैं. पीपल कम टू मी टू अ काउंसलर, मैम हमने ज़िंदगी में कंपेयर नहीं किया, मेरे दोनों बच्चे अलग हैं. मगर कहीं ना कहीं आप फिर भी कह दोगे उसको देख के ही बड़े वाले को सीख लेना था कुछ. या अगर तेरे में तो है, बड़े वाले में नहीं, तेरे में तो कैपेसिटी है, तो क्यों नहीं करता?
या बड़े वाले को बोलेंगे तू तो ठीक से
तू
चल,
तो
तभी तेरे को
करने,
देख के करेगा वो.
तू तो एक रोल मॉडल है घर के लिए. तू ये अगर गलत, छोटे क्या सीखेंगे? So even if it is those very lame and those small statements,
घर पे बर्थडे पार्टी हो रही है, नेबर्स किड इज हियर, उसको देखो कितने आराम से बैठा हुआ था,
आराम
बैठी
से
हुई थी.
खा रहा था, मैनर्ड खा रहा था,
right.
ढंग से बैठा था, सबको उसने आके विश
But do
किया.
you really think this is avoidable? We can avoid it?
Cannot, because we are born in, unknowingly it is there in us. It is in our system. The WordPress has put that in our system, but we can make a conscious effort.
पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी हमारे दिमाग में भरा गया है वैसे,
क्योंकि शुरू से ही आ जाता है कि
और वो नेचुरल है
पर
कंपैरिजन हो
यू
जाना.
कैन मेक एन एफर्ट. अगर हम नए बच्चे को अगर हम रिमोट नहीं देंगे टीवी चलाने का, ही विल नॉट नो हाउ टू पुट इट ऑन. हम बड़े खुश होकर बताते हैं क्योंकि आपने वो एक्सेस दिया. सिमिलरली जब उसको ABCD पढ़ाते हैं तो हम हाथ पकड़ के उसको A या कर्सिव राइटिंग कराते हैं. इसी तरह ट्रेन योरसेल्फ, कीप knowing consciously you do not have to say these words, because somewhere or the other, even if it is not a comparison, he will carry that baggage with it.
मैम हमारे इंडिया में अभी तक तो ये कल्चर नहीं आया. इनफैक्ट आई थिंक एशिया में नहीं है अभी. जितनी भी कॉमनवेल्थ कंट्रीज हैं, वी आर अ वेरी सर्विस ओरिएंटेड sort of that's been built into us after the years of British Raj that happened over us. But when I look at Western society, they urge their kids to start earning from themselves after they turn 18, और पार्ट टाइम जॉब्स करना शुरू कर देते हैं. दे स्टार्ट मेकिंग देयर ओन पॉकेट मनी. एंड आई थिंक पेरेंट्स यहाँ पर, हम कितना भी कह लें कि पेरेंट्स को ये ध्यान देना है, वो ध्यान देना है, वी कीप ऑन प्रोवाइडिंग टू आवर किड्स टिल द टाइम, इवन व्हेन द किड इज एट 25, 26, 27, कोई बात नहीं बेटा, घर बैठ खा, जो करना है कर. राइट? डू यू थिंक एक्सपोजर टू दोज part-time jobs and accessing those offices or those shops or those malls would give them, open up
100%.
some minds?
You learn commitment, you learn patience to deal with people, and thirdly you learn punctuality, which is not there. Unfortunately in our system, punctuality is not there. धक्के देके उठा रहे हैं, धक्के देके भेज रहे हैं. So क्या होता है, वो आपको एक रिस्पेक्ट देनी भी to a client that you're facing. Obama had sent 2 of his daughters to work in a KFC in their summer holidays.
Yes, of course, yes.
If a president of the country, supposedly the superpower of the world, and his president could send his daughters, where is the lack? And where is our understanding getting a lack?
Yeah.
And that too at a KFC.
Michelle Obama and Barack Obama they're legendary, right?
They're legends. So if they have a thought process that they want their daughters to learn these small little bits of knowing how to respect time, how to be patient, and how to have that resilience within them, I think it is mandatory to send all the kids after a certain age to listen to what the others' expectations are.
एक ही हैक लगता है मुझे. हैक इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि nobody gets parenting right. My parents were not happy with their parents. They were not happy with their parents. We were not happy with our parents. My kids are not going to be happy with us.
Okay.
But मुझे लगता है कि the way we were raised and the way I've seen other people being raised, we knew of the hardships that our parents faced. अभी हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करने से पहले we were talking about your life and you were telling us about your journey and what the tough times you guys had to face. If your kids know that, I think the humbleness comes in.
Definitely. But even if they're, I've seen people who have mass, they are so privileged, even they are very humble and sober. It's the way you present them, the life struggles and the life at large. अगर आपको गिव बैक की आदत नहीं है, इफ यू डोंट हैव कंपैशन फॉर अदर पीपल अराउंड यू, you will never be a good human being.
Having privilege and recognizing that privilege are two different things.
100%.
Right? If you're privileged and then you don't acknowledge it that you're privileged, I think then you're delusional. Because फिर वो humility true है ही नहीं. But जितने जो कुछ मेरे friends हैं जो come from well-off families and they're doing great and they talk to anybody like they talk to anybody, right? वो they don't change themselves for the other person.
Right.
वो बिल्कुल simple सादे आज भी हैं जैसे उनके parents हैं. But that has to be built in, I think.
Yes.
Like for me, I personally believe that we need to share our hard times or the times that we've had as an example to our kids. Not telling them कि देखो हम तो इतना बुरा हाल था हमने ऐसा. But we need to tell them देखो ऐसा था. ऐसे भी times थे. We are thankful that we are not there today, and you need to be thankful that we are not there today. And it's great that you kids are not facing it, but you must remember that life is such.
And life is very unpredictable.
It is, absolutely.
And वैसे भी अब का जो बच्चा है, today's generation is overprivileged. Our parents struggled for a house, struggled to build up their businesses, struggled to meet the ends meet. We came where we had sufficient enough to have that platform to bounce from there. These are the ones who are already in the air. Why not sustain it by being, very humane, by being very humble, understanding that they are privileged? Because today, even if they have nothing, they have enough to survive for their lifetime. But to maintain that and to be in a maintained balance is, I think, very, very important.
And what do you have to say to people who say, never shout at your kids, never scold them, never beat them? Which school of thought are you from?
From the ones who have been very strict. Because at times,
tough love helps.
It does, because when it is being taken up, that's what my experience, my very, very personal experience. I could be wrong here, but I have seen if you don't tell them and don't make them understand, even if it is the wrong way to do it, to differentiate between what is really right and what is really wrong, they might not learn it because they are very naive at that time.
मैम मैंने हमारे इस पॉडकास्ट से पहले ना आई रीच्ड आउट टू कपल ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स जो मेरी फ्रेंड्स फैमिली एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली में हैं. तो मैंने बोला कि यार तुम्हारे क्या सवाल है थ्रू समिट में, एंड सम ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस वी ऑलरेडी आंसर्ड, बट दो चार बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग से क्वेश्चन है. पहला है कि नो वन टॉट अस हाउ टू नेटवर्क इन कॉलेज में नेटवर्किंग को लेके कुछ था ही नहीं.
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग.
नाउ हाउ कैन आई बेस्ट नेटवर्क विद प्रोफेशनल्स इन माय फील्ड?
So this actually is not taught to us, and is a very right observation that your cousin or friend has taken. We just know that we have to do a certain task when you're going to our school or colleges, and that's what our expectations are, and we come back, either get ourselves involved into a certain thing just for the matter of getting a certifications and build a profile. But unless and until you understand the power of networking, you will not know how you will be able to tomorrow sell or understand the market, or even know what to buy and do or get answers to your queries. So this, I think, should be as a part of making students understand in their curriculum how to really have a walk path or a way or an understanding to network, which is super important.
I've noticed it in my schools where I'm an alumni from. Schools and teachers, they are so overwhelmed. They're so busy all the time कि उनकी भी गलती नहीं है. But if there was a good alumni,
a badge or a
right,
meet or something where they
if they had they created a whole system around it, and they had designated somebody to do the job, right? Teachers भी हैं, headmistresses
but you
हैं,
need
vice
different
principals
people. You definitely need professionals in this.
आपकी स्कूल के फ्रेंड्स जिनके साथ आपने 10-12 साल बिताए हैं, 2 साल बिताए हैं, 5 साल बिताए हैं, if you reach out to somebody, let's say 10 years later, it's like, yaar, kaisa hai? How are you, yaar? It's been a time. And he's somebody who's doing something of your interest. That kind of a network, that kind of a bond you've built for life.
Absolutely.
And if there is no potential alumni network to actually reach out to, that you're losing out big time.
Right.
That's one of the things I miss in my life. My university back in the US has a great alumni program. And it really helps. Like you
it does.
just, even if you're just
because you connect immediately. Don't take time. You just bring back all those memories and all those good times that you've spent together, and it really works.
कहीं ना कहीं जब हम MBA कर लेते हैं और वहाँ जाकर तो ये सब हम करते हैं, क्योंकि उसके बाद आपको पता है कि नेटवर्किंग की वर्थ क्या है,
क्योंकि वहाँ पे सिर्फ आपको बताया कि MBA का मीनिंग ही नेटवर्क है.
राइट?
अगर यही चीज थोड़ा सा पहले आके अपने
Yes.
कॉलेज टाइम्स में या अपने हाई स्कूल टाइम्स में अगर समझाई जाए, आई थिंक दैट बॉन्ड इज गोइंग टू बी क्रिएटेड फॉर लाइफ.
And you will definitely reach a time, and I guarantee this to every one of you, there comes a time in your life तुम बैठ के बोलोगे कि यार देख मेरे दोस्त ज़्यादा नहीं है. This is going to happen to each one of you कि यार बहुत ज़्यादा दोस्त नहीं है, 2-4 राजदार हैं मेरे, वो राजदार ज़रूर रखने हैं आप सबको. What support is available for students with disabilities or special needs?
Lots. I think it's not too much in the open, but there are institutes, there are organizations, there are NGOs which actually are preparing those disadvantaged, bunch of them, or who are special or challenged. Besides physical disability, to make them outshine in their sphere, whatever skill sets they have, or at least make them the bread earners. So there are a lot of organizations, and they are really doing. There are schools for special education. There are schools and colleges which waive off the curriculum, which give them extra support, give them extra scholarships, just to identify so that they also become as responsible, as go-getters, and as givebacks to the society as any ordinary person is.
Yeah.
So there are lots of organizations. You just need to make sure you get to the right connect. And again here, the networking works.
Yes, absolutely. It was a very informative session that we had together. It was an eye-opening session actually. My father used to say कि ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हर बच्चा पढ़े, ज़रूरी नहीं है उसका रास्ता वो हो. He said this at the time of my younger brother.
Wow.
School में, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to tell you this. He is a brilliant individual, my younger brother. लेकिन स्कूल में 10th में भाई साहब के मार्क्स आए सिंगल डिजिट्स में out of 100 in a couple of subjects. तो my tough love works, अभी हमने जैसे बात किया, तो my dad said चल दुकान पे बिठाता हूँ तुझे. And he took him, and he जो बैठे थे कर्मचारी उनको हटाया, कहते तू बैठ जा, चलो बिल बनाना शुरू करो, माल लोड करवाओ. That one day, in 3 hours, he came to my dad and said, "Dad, एक लास्ट चांस दे दो."
क्या पढ़ोगे?
कहते क्या चांस? कुछ नहीं, तेरे को मैं बहुत बड़ा बिजनेसमैन बनाऊंगा, तू बैठ जा आज. मुझे नहीं पता डैड ने उसको क्या बोला क्या नहीं बोला. लास्ट में he gave him a chance, and that day and for the next 6 years, हम कहीं बाहर गए हैं, हम कहीं से भी आ रहे हैं, जब भी हम घर की घंटी बजाते थे, मेरे ब्रदर की चेयर खिसकने की आवाज़ आती थी उसकी स्टडी टेबल पे से. He became a CA.
Wow.
He is an All India Bar Council member. CLC से लॉ किया उसने फिर फुल टाइम, एंड लॉ ही completed when our father was not there. तो उनके पीछे से भी he kept the passion running.
Lovely.
And he's doing great. So tough love works. और कई बार आपको रास्ता धक्का खा के भी मिल जाता है.
100%.
और there is no end to life in any case कभी भी. Ma'am, I would love to share your email ID and your credentials with people if you allow them.
Sure.
You can reach out to Kanchan ma'am through the details that I will share in the video description. I will share her LinkedIn with you. I'll share her email ID, her website, so that if you have any questions, you can directly reach out to her, or you can comment under the video section, or you can comment on Instagram. You can write to me at thespecificask@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at thespecificask and message me there. Thank you for listening in. Have a great day.